to have or not to have kids, when to have them, and whether we working women can have it all has been debated, discussed, and examined since the washing machine and the TV dinner began to free up many mothers to even consider leaving the home as a viable option. I once wore a maroon leather dress with sleeves, which looked fabulous in real life, but didn't look great on TV. It was shiny, and it looked like something Pinky Tuscadero would wear. I am 5 feet 1¾ inches. Often when I meet people who have only seen me on TV, they say, "I always thought you were so much taller." For lots of reasons, including working crazy hours and having a job that required significant travel, I did not start trying to have a baby until I was in my late 30s. My experience is hardly unique. I am one of countless women who almost waited too long without realizing it. One dress I love for me, it's a little edgy, it's sleeveless. It's black and it's leather. I've worn it on TV. Women, whatever their profession, tend to have a harder time feeling ready for a job, even though in most cases they are more than prepared. My brother and I thought we were Donnie and Marie without the talent. I've covered a lot of presidential campaigns. My very first live shot was from the White House lawn. I literally almost threw up. I was so scared out of my mind. It was horrible. I'm old enough to remember when Republicans loved the CBO because it tells the conservatives the thing that matters most to them, which is how much is it going to cost taxpayers. For all the interviews Pelosi does, she doesn't talk often about her struggles and challenges as a woman. I went through years of unsuccessful fertility treatments. First in my hometown of D.C., then in New York City, where it finally happened. I got pregnant with my son, my miracle boy. I have been at CNN my entire career. When I first started, I raised my hand and volunteered for everything. It allowed me to get a wide range of experience and learn from the best, whether it was a cameraman or an anchorman. For years, Pelosi has been the ultimate Republican bogeyman or boogeywoman, as it were. She's a frequent target of Republican ire for being too far to the left, and she's also a target among progressives for not being far left enough. I have covered Pelosi for years, and always wondered how she learned to operate and excel in politics the way she does. Whether she planned it or not, the path that Pelosi took to the House is the one most women used to follow. Women raised their kids, and then they went into politics. John Sidney McCain III was as complex as they come. The John McCain I first started to get to know in earnest was the one who had just returned to the U.S. Senate after losing the 2000 Republican presidential primary. When I was first assigned to cover the Republican presidential race in 2007, that meant covering John McCain. He was the next in line, and at that point that mattered in the GOP. McCain was so passionate and determined, but he was also practical. He understood what a heavy lift it was to get a 60-vote, filibuster-proof margin on something that lawmakers feared would hurt their ability to campaign to keep their jobs. Not all women want to have children. To be sure, not all women are looking for a partner. Though she is a proud native of one of the most famously liberal cities in the country, Feinstein has earned a reputation over the years in the Senate as someone eager to work across the aisle with Republicans. Many women in politics say they had very few, if any, female role models. In 1967, my mother, then Francie Weinman, graduated from Northwestern University with a degree from the prestigious Medill School of Journalism. But because she is a woman, the only television news job she could get in her hometown of Chicago was as a secretary at a network affiliate. Learning things that are interesting and other people would find interesting is the biggest rush. Remarkable technological and medical advances allowed me to be a mom, but it is expensive and not always a viable or effective option. My formative years were in Jersey, and I'm kind of Jersey at heart. It's hard to be on TV, it's really hard. Cops are some of my best sources. They have so much information. It is our job to ask the questions that make everybody uncomfortable. Listening is the most underrated part of my profession. There is nothing more important than hard work. I covered the White House during the Bush years when Ari Fleischer, Scott McClellan and Dana Perino were at the podium. We thought those were, at times, crazy press briefings, asking questions about major events like the Iraq War and the leaking of Valerie Plame's name and the outing of her as a CIA operative. I would never say, as a member of the press, that there should be fewer press briefings. The more access, the better, no matter who is there or what's going on. Cable TV? Stressful? Never. One of the things I love most about the Capitol Hill beat is that I have regular access to the lawmakers I cover. I think it's my job to walk my beat and find the people I cover who have questions that should be answered. Love him or hate him, you have to give Senator Bunning points for being consistent. He has never seemed all that concerned about what reporters think of him, and when you ask his colleagues, some say it's not much different for them. I was a freelancer at CNN during the second semester of my senior year at George Washington University. One of the benefits of being a woman is I don't have to put on a black suit. I could do it, but why do it if you don't have to? When you report on Wall Street and healthcare reform, what could be more relevant to people's lives? Members of Congress are people too. I love covering politics at that early stage where you can walk up to Mike Huckabee, who gets out of his car by himself. A car that he drove, who just walks up and talks to you because that's the only way he can get his message out. When you are being anti-lie or pro-truth, you come across as being anti-Trump or pro-Democrat, and it's a very tough thing for those of us who are just working journalists and still believe in the notion of objectivity. As a type A woman, I always want more. I went to elementary school in Falls Church, Virginia. I always carry snacks in my bag. It's a good habit to have now that I am a mom. There is no such thing as balance in life, you just do the best you can, when you can with that you've got. We didn't even have email when I was in college. Interning is so important. I feel incredibly blessed that I'm in my generation and not my mother's generation. I feel that I'm very much benefiting from the strides that the women before me made. Women bring things to the storytelling of news that is maybe more relatable to the women that are consuming